Hello and welcome to this video on argc and argv, which are also known as command line arguments. So, command line arguments are arguments that are mostly passed to the main function in C programming. They are passed to the main function in C programming. Remember our main function, most times when we create it, there are no parameters. But these are arguments and these are parameters and arguments that we pass to the main function itself. So the command line arguments are handled using the main function. So what is argc? Argc means argument count, and this is an integer, and it stores the number of command line arguments passed by the user, including the name of the program. That is, the first argument is the name of the program. You will see that in action. So numbers of things passed when running the program through command line is argc, or argument count. Argv, on the other hand, is argument vector. An argument vector is the array of character pointers listing all the arguments. So this one lists out all the arguments that are passed to the program. Argc is the count, argv is all the arguments, and it holds the string value of everything entered in command line when running the program. So if argc is greater than 0, the array element from argv 0 to argc minus 1 will contain pointers to strings. Argv, or initial argc, is the name of the program. After that, till argc minus 1, every element is command line argument. So let me just break it down again. Command line arguments are arguments that are passed to the main function of the C program, okay? And they are handled by the main function. Argc, argument count, is an integer, and it stores the number of command line arguments that are passed, including the name of the program. Okay, so in simple terms, it is the number of things passed to the program when running it through command line. Take note, command line. While argv is the argument vector, which is an array of character pointers. It's a pointer, but it is an array of character. It gathers all the arguments that have been run through the program and stores them in itself. So let's see this thing in action. So let's create a simple file. Let's call this vim arguments.c. So argument.c, okay? So argument.c. So let's create our header file. So include the pound sign, include stdio.h. Then let's create the function int main. Then now we are going to pass in the arguments or the parameters. So we say arg. The first one is argc, okay, which we said was what? An integer. So integer argc. Then the next one is a character pointer, which points to argv, but it is an array. Okay. Then we can return 0. Now let's play with argc first. So for us to understand what argc is, remember we said that argc is the numbers of arguments passed into the main function, whereas the first argument is what? The name of the program itself. So let's do this. So let's do a simple printf, and we say argc is equal to, so we want to get how many is passed to it. So let's put this on a new line. So we'll also use argc, because argc is going to store the number of elements that have been passed to it. So printf argc is equal to, all right. So let's check this out. Let's compile our program and let's run it. So I'm going to say gcc argument.c, and let's turn it into, let's use an argument file, just this. Oh, sorry, there's an error there. I used O instead of 0. Programmers. Interesting. So let's compile again. So compile successfully. So let me clear. So let me do this now. I will say argument. I'm not going to pass any argument to it, okay? Just enter. And as you can see, argc is 1. Now, if you want to pass argument, remember it says that it is a command line argument, okay? So to pass argument, we are going to do this argument. Then you can pass different arguments separated by space. So I will say precious programmer computer. So take note, when we did it the first time, only the name of the program is one argument. So that is why it say argc is equal to 1. Just the name of the program. So if you can understand this, then you would know how many arguments we have here. So the first one is the name of the program. Then we have the second one, precious, this third one, programmer, and the fourth one, computer. So let's press enter and see. And as you can see, argc is equal to 4. So you see, argc, the name of the program is already one argument, okay? This one. Then any other thing you had behind it is going to count as other argument. That is why it is called command line argument. So let's test it for the last time. So argument A, B, C, and if you want to put something in space, we can say I, A, B, C. This is one argument because it is in quotes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arguments, A, B, C, D, E. So we have how many arguments here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's confirm that. And as you can see, argc is 7. So the name of the program itself is an argument, which is 1. Then any other argument you add behind it, separated by space in the command line, this is command line, then those are the other arguments, okay? So let's go back in. Let me clear this. And let's see what we can do with argv, now that we understand what argc is, all right? So let's work with argv. So we've been able to see what we can do with argc. Now let's check what we can do with argv. So remember, argv is an array of strings, okay, which is also a pointer. And this is what holds or stores everything that has been entered inside the command line. So all those arguments we passed previously, we can now see them using argv. So remember, argc is the character count, argv is an array of everything that has been entered. So if you enter ABC, argc will tell you that 4 things have been entered, including the name of the program, while argv will tell you that 4 things have been entered, but it's going to tell you the name of all those things that have been entered. So let's see this in action. So for us to use the argv, let's try to see what it holds, what is inside of it. So let's create another printf and just say printf, let's say everything inside of argv, okay? So let's put this on a new line. So this is going to be like an header for us so that we can differentiate what we are doing. Then let's create a for loop. Remember, it's an array. So I'm going to declare this integer I. So for I is equal to 0. Initially, I is equal to 0. And I is less than argc. So argc is the character count. So it should be less than what is inside of argc. Then we increment it. Increment I. Then let's print everything out. So printf argc So I want to print out the index first, D. So we print out the index, then we also print out the string that it is holding. So what is stored there? All right. So what are we printing? We are printing the index, and we are printing what is stored inside of argv of index I. So any index of I. Okay, so what we are doing here now is we are trying to print out everything that is inside of argv. Okay, after we've counted everything using argc. So let me put that in double lines. Okay, so let's save, and now let's recompile our program. So I'll say gcc argument.c, output it to argument. So that is done, compiled. Now let's just run it at first. Let's see what it prints out. So we are only running it once, argument, without any other argument, just the name of the program. And as you can see, it says argc, everything inside of argv. The first thing in argc, which is arg0 at index 0, is the program itself, which is argument.executable. Okay, so let's add some things to it. So I will say precious, Ali, let me just put some names, Simbi, Yusuf, and Bridget. Okay, so we have how many arguments here? The name of the program, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's print all this out. And as you can see, argc is equal to 6. Everything inside of argv, the first one is the program itself. Can you see it? Then the second one, argv1, supposed to be argv1, is precious, Ali, Simbi, Yusuf. So let me fix that. It's not supposed to be argv. It's not supposed to be argc. But you can see it's working how it is working the way it is supposed to work. So this is supposed to be argv. So let's test it one last time. So clear. Let's compile. Compile successfully. So let's do it again. So argument. And as you can see, argc contains one argument, and that is the program name. So argv index 0, which is the name of the program. Now, if we add some other things to the argument, let's say like we did before, Ali, BC, Simbi, Toby, Wisdom. These are just names. So now we have how many arguments? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 arguments. Enter, and as you can see, argc is equals to 6, and the first argument is the program name. The second one is just everything we entered here: Ali, BC, Simbi, Toby, and Wisdom. So there you have it, guys. argc is going to give you the count of the arguments, and argv is going to show you everything that is being sent inside of the argument as an array. So if you send only the name of the program, that is just one argument, and it's going to be in the index of 0, and argv is going to tell you where it is located. And if you send other arguments separated by space, or any word separated by space in a quote, it is going to see that as a single argument, and it's going to print that out on the screen for you. So guys, that is it on argc and argv. I hope it is clear to you now, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.